Hello students, have a good day to all. In this presentation, we are going to study about refraction of light through a prism. Let us start. First, let us discuss what is a prism. Look at this picture. It is a prism made of glass, and these are the three-dimensional drawings of prism. And a prism is a transparent medium bounded by 5 plane surfaces with a triangular cross section. This is a triangular cross section. And two opposite surfaces are identical parallel triangles. These two opposite surfaces are identical parallel triangles. And three surfaces are rectangular. 1, 2, and the base is also a rectangular surface, and that three surfaces are not parallel but inclined at an angle. These two rectangular surfaces are inclined at an angle A. That is called the angle of prism, and these two surfaces are called refracting surfaces, and this is the base. And while drawing the ray diagram for a prism, we will just draw this principal section, that is a triangular surface, and this is considered as base, and these two surfaces are considered as refracting surfaces. Let us start. Refraction of light through a prism. Consider it is a principal section of a prism of angle A, and let us name it ABC, and consider it is a normal drawn to the first refracting surface AB, and a ray of light incident obliquely to the surface of separation, and here there is a medium change from air to glass. So from the actual path, the light ray will bend towards the normal, and the angle between the normal and the incident ray is called I1, that is the angle of incidence. And the angle between the refracted ray and the normal is called R1, and the refracted ray again incident on the second refracting surface AC, and the angle between the normal to that surface and this incident ray, this refracted ray is the incident ray for the second surface, is R2. This is the angle of incidence for the second surface. And this angle, this is the angle of deviation for this incident ray. This incident ray is deviating delta 1 angle, and deviating and refracting towards the normal and incidenting on this surface AC. And then what will happen? There is a medium change from glass to air. So denser to rarer, it bends away from the normal, and it is the emergent ray. And the angle between the emergent ray and the normal is called I2, and it is the angle of emergence. This is the angle of incidence, this is the angle of emergence, and this is the angle of refraction. And the deviation for this angle of deviation for this refracted ray is delta 2. Angle of deviation for this refracted ray is delta 2. And then what is the angle of deviation for this prism? That is the angle made between the incident ray produced forward. This is the incident ray produced forward and the emergent ray produced backward. This angle is called angle of deviation of the prism. Angle of deviation of the prism. That means this much angle the light ray deviated while passing through the prism. That is angle of deviation. And angle of deviation means angle between the incident ray produced forward and the emergent ray produced backward. That is angle of deviation delta. And there are two relations connecting angle of prism and refracting angles. That is R1, it is a refracted angle for the first surface, and this is the incident angle for the second surface, and by adding these two angles we will get the angle of prism. And the second relation, it is connecting angle of incidence, angle of emergence, and angle of prism and angle of deviation. Angle of incidence plus angle of emergence is equal to angle of prism plus angle of deviation. This you have to by heart. Next, we are going to discuss about factors affecting the angle of deviation. Refractive index. First factor, refractive index increasing means angle of deviation also increases. Refractive index means optical density. Optical density increasing means it will bend away or towards the normal, and that angle is greater. So angle of deviation is also greater. And next factor is angle of prism. If angle of prism is greater means angle of deviation also is greater. And third is wavelength. Wavelength is inversely proportional. These two cases are directly proportional, but wavelength is inversely proportional. Wavelength decreases means angle of deviation increases. That means violet light is having less wavelength and angle of deviation is more for violet light. That means violet light will deviate more while passing through a prism, but red light will deviate less while passing through the prism, because red light is having more wavelength, and the wavelength and the angle of deviation is inversely proportional. Refractive index and angle of prism is directly proportional. And the fourth factor is angle of incidence. There is a different story for angle of incidence. Angle of incidence increasing means angle of deviation decreases. First, the angle of deviation will decrease, and after a certain point, the angle of deviation also will start increasing with the angle of incidence. First, angle of deviation decreases, then after a particular point, angle of deviation also start increasing with the angle of incidence. Let us discuss this with a graph. That is angle of incidence and angle of deviation curve, that is I delta curve. Angle of incidence is in x-axis and angle of deviation is in y-axis. And the angles are marked here. First is 35 degree angle of incidence, angle of deviation is 43 degree, and angle of incidence is increasing 40 degree, but angle of deviation is decreasing from 43 to 39 degree. And at a particular angle of incidence, the angle of deviation we are getting minimum, that is 38 degree here. For 48 degree angle of incidence, angle of deviation is getting 38 degree. And that particular point, the angle of emergence also equal to angle of incidence. And we are getting a minimum angle of deviation. That means angle of deviation is minimum. And after this particular point, 50 degree, look here, 50 degree angle of deviation is also increasing. That means up to this point only angle of deviation start decreasing. After this point, angle of deviation also increasing with the angle of incidence. Here 55 degree angle of deviation is increasing. That means first it decrease, then at a particular point getting an angle of minimum deviation, then from that point angle of deviation is increasing. That means at a particular angle of incidence, that means only for one angle of incidence only we will get an angle of minimum deviation. Before and after there is a decrease and a increase, and it is a experimentally proved case for a prism. And that means we can define angle of minimum deviation as angle of incidence increases, the angle of deviation goes on decreasing. And for a certain angle of incidence, it attains the minimum value, which is known as angle of minimum deviation. And the conditions for minimum deviation is angle of incidence should be equal to angle of emergence. And the second condition is this angle of refraction, and this angle R2 should be equal. That means angle of incidence equal to angle of emergence, and the refracted angles also equal inside the prism. And the refracted ray should go parallel to the base of the prism. That is the third condition. The refracted ray should go parallel to the base of the prism. These are the three conditions for angle of minimum deviation. Hope this concept is clear. Stay connected. I will be uploading more videos. Thank you.